This is the Sunday edition of the 217 Recovery Podcast. Tonight's episode was carefully selected by Marney.
Could be little, could be big. But going back out is not the answer.
Sit back, relax, or do whatever it is you do, and enjoy Marney's Sunday night replay.
It might be childish, sure, but that's kind of what drugs do, you know?
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
You know, when people reach out and ask for help and it's something as simple as, hey, shipping her a box of tampons.
The one thing about this girl is she's never asked me for anything. She may have hinted about tampons.
May have hinted about the tampons. 26th of July. The year is 2020. My name is Corey Winfield, and this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Joining me in the studio yet again, the very lovely, the very talented blog writer herself. It is Marney Liston. Marney, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. What's good with you?
I'm doing okay. Doing all right. We got the new microphone working now. I'm feeling pretty confident about that. And there was something weird with the other one, and it was picking up an echo, and I really hope it's not doing that now.
Excellent.
Yeah. See, money does fix everything. Yeah, just kidding. Today, though, we review a movie called Palm Springs. Mm-hmm. And also going to get into a little bit about conversation I just had with a friend. And maybe a little time travel. I haven't talked time travel in a couple weeks. And parallel universes, which I know Rob Larson, if he's listening, is going to be very intrigued. He's going to be yelling at his phone, Corey, you're stupid. I told you time is relevant. Or whatever, Rob. So that's how Rob talks. Yeah, so also, before we get into all that, though, we wanted to get into your blog, or at least I wanted you to kind of talk about the blog that you just posted today. It was a good one. It was about family. Mm-hmm. And what you just were like, I'm going to write a blog about family, or is this something you were thinking about?
It kind of came up, I guess, when I had my dad on the podcast a few weeks ago, and after it was all said and done, I was thinking to myself, what exactly was I expecting? How did I think this was going to go? And what people share about themselves and their relationship with alcohol today and in their past, is their own, and, up to them on what they want to disclose. So I think I kind of put them on the spot a little bit, but anyhow, I started reflecting on just where I'm at with, my relationships with the people in my family and the people that I love, and what has been, I guess, salvaged from those. And, everything that has happened in my past has affected those that were close to me, good and bad. And, we change as people, and obviously everyone that I love, my family mostly, has always been, rooting for me, has always been, behind me and aware of my struggles. But they did reach their breaking point. And this time around, it's become way more apparent to me that I have to be okay with that, and actually trying to understand where they were coming from when they decided to kind of just cut ties with me and, send me on my way with hopes and prayers that I would, find recovery. And at the time when it was happening, myself, I didn't understand it. But now when I look back in hindsight, it makes complete sense. Because for people that are addicts and alcoholics, we have spent so many days and months and years living in chaos, and the people we love have been touched by that, and they get tired of it. and we've tried to change, and then, or there's been enabling situations, and, we latch on in these codependent relationships, and it's completely unhealthy. It's unhealthy for us. It's unhealthy for them. And so I need to be okay with the fact that they were making those decisions to say, because essentially it's just they don't know what to do anymore. It's like, we can't fix you. And they're frustrated with that. And, I had to understand that. And so this blog is kind of just like basically talking about how in our lives that repairing and mending those relationships is something that does not happen overnight, and that it's something that we have to work on, and that because of the nature of our past and the way that we acted and behaved in our addiction, we hurt a lot of people, and to repair those relationships is difficult, and it takes time, and we can't expect our loved ones to just think, oh, they turned over a new leaf and, everything's back how it used to be, because it never will be back how it used to be. It can be better. And so basically it was just to keep hope and to know that all of my blogs are kind of like just me talking about where I'm coming from. Not everyone can relate to all of them. I'm sure of that, but that it's okay to have to be patient. You have to be patient about earning that trust back, and they don't want to hear promises anymore. They're tired of promises. They want to see action, and if they love you, then they'll be patient as well. And so it's basically like, don't tell them that you're going to change and that you're going to, live in recovery. You need to show them that you're changing and living in recovery, and that's the real way to get to repairing relationships with the people that you love the most, which most of the time, family is part of that. Your own, that you have, like your husband or wife and your own children, or, your, core family that you grew up with, your parents and your brothers and sisters and so on.
Yeah, I like that part of your blog when you said, that your family doesn't want you, they don't want to hear it from you again. And I can tell by reading that, kind of went through that same phase that I went through. Because at first, damn it, we were telling them that, and we meant it when we said it, sort of, like, yeah, I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm tired. And we were tired, and we wanted to be done. We just didn't know what it was going to take. And we weren't at that time willing to give it all that it was going to take for us to remain sober. But yeah, we meant it when we said it to them, the first 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. This is it. I'm done. This is my last treatment center. I'm too old for this. I need to move forward. I need to do this. And this is it. I'm done. But then you get to a point where you don't even tell them that anymore, because you're tired of, it sounds like lies coming out of your mouth, even though when you're saying it, it's not, but we're just still looking for that, what's it going to take kind of thing. And we didn't know what it was yet. So we get to the point where then we just stop saying it. Don't stop saying it. And then we start to learn to prove it, to show it. And that's what we can do to make a difference. And I think you're kind of like me in that aspect of, we don't like to be wrong, and we like to do the things we put our mind to. And if I am 100% dead set on something, I'm going to do it. And if I take that approach with my recovery, like, damn, I'm going to show my parents, I'm going to show my brother and sister, I'm going to show them that I can't do this. When I get my mind made up like that, then it's on the positive side of things. And when I started giving my chips, the chips that we get every month, AA, my 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, when I started giving those to family members, that was something that really motivated me to get the next one. Because like so many other people, and I've heard people say it, I stopped collecting those 1-2 month chips like 4 years ago, and I realized I had a whole stack of them, just 1 and 2 months, and it just becomes a sad reminder. And we think, I don't earn it. I've already got 20 of them. I don't need any more. But I kind of went through that too, and then I realized, no, if I can give it to other people, if I can save those chips and send them to people, and I don't think my younger brother likes the chips as much as my mother does, but I like sending it to my brother just as much as I did sending it to my mom. So it just kind of made it to where it was, hey, this is something that I'm not going to say I'm going to do it. I didn't tell my little brother, hey, I'm going to mail you my 5-month coin. It just showed up in his mail, and I already had my mind made up that I'm going to show him and I'm going to do it. And those coins helped me kind of along the way with that too. So, but I liked your blog though. It's good. You should post more.
Thanks.
And if you haven't read her blog, it's 217recovery.com/Marney. And you can subscribe to our website, and that way when Marney posts one, or Anna or Jay or myself post new blogs, they'll be uploaded and they'll give you a notification and let you know. Speaking of notifications, I was talking to my friend Adam Brothers, and he said he listens through Spreaker. He said Spreaker is who we record with. So when we get done with the podcast, and pretty much immediately when we finish it and it's uploaded, it sends out notifications to everybody who subscribes. And Adam, he's all about the Spreaker. He loves it. So if I don't know if you're listening on Pandora or Apple Podcasts or however you get it, whatever's most convenient for you, thank you for listening to it. But when he said that he subscribes to that, and then he told me some other stories about what he was going through in life, and you heard some of them. I had it on speakerphone, and it just goes to show you that when bad things happen, you don't have to go back to the old way of life. You don't have to go back to, oh, my life's blown up. Oh, I better stop and go back. You got a year in, keep that year. Don't give up. You might think that your life's being destroyed and, oh, how could this person do this? And I don't really want to get into Adam's business too much, but, there was something that happened in his life where, he was set and things were going well, and he was just going through the motions. And, most people would look at, things he was doing and, his life, and, hey, man, that's perfect. That's good things you got going on. And then some things happened, and he figured out that wasn't really what was going on, and kind of changed the game for him. But he didn't go back to drinking, and that's such a huge thing. And Adam, I'm so proud of you, man. Like when you first called me, I was like, oh Jesus. And it's been like 3 or 4 days we've been playing phone tag, and we finally got a chance to speak today. And I'm so proud of him for not choosing to go back to that easy, miserable life, and it's kind of hard right now for him and the things that he has going on, but he's got a plan, and Adam's looking forward to the future. And I think that is such a huge advantage if you're in those situations. Keep pushing forward. What do you want? Because we know what we don't want. Adam knows where he doesn't want to be. He knows a life he does not want to live. That's not fun. That's very unproductive. And instead, he might be, making whatever, doing whatever, but he's got plans, and doesn't matter if people tell him that he's crazy and that'll never happen. It doesn't matter, Adam. You can have 100 people tell you it's not going to happen, and you're the only one that's going to make that either happen or not happen. It's up to you. Don't let people who don't understand your vision or your ideas get in the way of what you want to do. And I was talking to a guy probably about a month ago, and he was telling me some things, and he wanted to make it was engines for RC cars, and he wanted to put a different kind of fan in it and something that didn't need to be charged all the time, and do it, and as a hobby, even do it. I do this podcast as a hobby. Do whatever makes you happy and whatever is going to keep you sober. And if people are like, why have you been messing around with that for 20 years? Because you're still trying to perfect it. It's better than drinking, and it gives you something to do, and it keeps you positive and moving forward. So Adam mentioned that he wanted to start a podcast, and I told him I'll help him in any way. Yeah. If he wants me to give him shout outs, if he wants me to, help him get started, I think he has all the equipment he needs. He's aware of Spreaker, who we do ours through. I don't know if that's the best one to go with. That's just the one we kind of went with. I guess at some point I thought it was the best one. That's probably why I chose it. Or maybe they had a free trial. I don't remember exactly, but it works out well. I don't mind Spreaker. but whatever he needs, I don't know, whatever he needs, I'll help him kind of get that going. And if anybody is, if you're looking to start a podcast, and Adam's is going to be about recovery, but he is bipolar as well, and he was telling me some things about trying to get into the doctor, and they told him 6 to 8 weeks, and he's like, kind of need my meds, and I'm praying for him, and he's a man of faith. Mm-hmm. Adam is, so I know that there's people out there that are going to look out for him, and God's for sure has him on this path for a reason, and I think he's going to be just fine. But yeah, Adam will help you out, whatever you need. And if you're listening right now too, thinking you'd like to start a podcast and not sure how or what you would do or how you would talk about it or whatever, I mean, feel free to reach out. I'm not the podcast guru or anything. I am a professional radio broadcaster, retired. I was in radio for 20 years, so I know a little bit about a couple things. But yeah, if you need any help or just want advice or just a plug, man, just let me know and we'll hook you up. And not like a plug like a drug dealer, but like right. Give a shout out. Like Adams, he said it was going to be Blind Cow Recovery, and then it was going to be the Brothers Podcast. I think that's what he said. Mm-hmm. His last name, Brothers, which I thought was pretty cool.
No, that's awesome.
Brothers in Recovery, maybe.
I know Adam, and he's a really good guy and really smart guy. And just from what I had heard is that he's got a lot of great ideas, and he's a perfect example of what being in recovery can present to you. I mean, the fact that he's brainstorming and, has all these ideas and, he's following through with his, mental health, and that he's looking out for him in his recovery. And also, like you were saying, he ran into a big bump in the road as far as, his personal life goes, and he's dealing with it. Mm-hmm. He's dealing with it. He's not letting it get him down. He's not drinking over it. And that right there shows huge amount of growth. Mm-hmm. Because I bet if you asked him a year ago today if that would have happened to him, we'd get a whole different story. We'd have a whole different Adam to talk to. So for that, I'm proud as well. And shoot high, man, because it sounds like you have like a ton of great ideas, and dream big, because stuff can happen. And these promises, you're a prime example that they do come true. And it's also too that perfect example that life is not all roses and lollipops and rainbows when you get sober. Mm-mm. Shit Mm-mm. comes back up into your life that you thought you never have to deal with again, or that doesn't happen because, I'm sober now and I'm not supposed to have bad things happen to me. That's not the case. Even if it has nothing to do with your part of anything, stuff will still come up, and you just have to handle it and deal with it. And Adam did that and is doing that, and that's awesome. So shout out to Adam.
Yeah, I like hearing stories like that. And the ideas he had were great. I don't know much about them or how to do it, but there are people out there that, God will put in Adam's way, right in his path, that will hear him talking. And he won't even know when he woke up that day that this person's, that he's talking to, because he had some really great ideas. Mm-hmm. And, when he keeps on it and doesn't give up, he'll run into the right person one day, and he won't even know that that's going to be the day. And it might be at the gas station or who knows, mm-hmm. that's how crazy it is and how it works, God will put a baby in your life sometimes, and it's like, hey, what? Huh? Oh, okay, I'll go this way. And like I was telling Adam too, like God had kind of yanked me off. Wait, hold on, let me say that again, because I didn't. He pulled me off of the path that I thought I was supposed to be on, and he put me on the path that he had for me, and which is a much better life than anything I had going on. So, I just have to trust more. And, I say it all the time, just have faith. And, I just need to have more myself. And sometimes it's hard when you're like, I don't really know what's going to happen. But, so far so good. So why would I doubt it? Why would I doubt the plans all of a sudden? And I'm the only one, I'm the one driving the car now. Either I keep going up this hill. I don't know what's on the other side of it. but I know what's at the bottom of this hill. You know, like
right?
I really don't want to go back there. So let's just keep going. You know, and yeah, it's going to take a while to get to the top, but you know, I don't even know if I'll ever get there. You know, I think I'm just going to keep going just up this hill.
Isn't that what life is, though?
I think so. Maybe. And then, once I build that time machine.
Please don't.
Well, because, all right.
Let's just talk about the movie.
All right. So there's a movie that I was listening to, the best radio station on the earth, 1310 The Ticket, out of Dallas, sports station. But they talk about other stuff. That's why I love them. But Corby was talking about it. He must have had like an endorsement deal with Hulu. And because he's bringing up this movie, and I went and looked for Andy Samberg, and I couldn't find any movie. I didn't know what he was talking about until I came across it. Then it was on Hulu, and they were promoting it. So I'm like, oh, must have been a endorsement that Corby was doing. But he was talking about the movie and, you know, how it was like Groundhog Day, but with a little bit more twist involved because there's two other people that are stuck in this loop with them. And that made it a lot more interesting. I mean, they can't just make Groundhog Day 2 unless they're going to call it Groundhog Day. And this is called Palm Springs, by the way. And it's only available on Hulu. So we got that free trial, and we watched it, and it was okay. It was some funny parts. Made me think about life a lot, though. Like, man, would that be nice to see your kids the same age every day and to kind of know what was going to happen like through the day? I think that would get kind of old.
Absolutely not. That would be awful.
Oh.
I would not. I mean, no way. Like, that's what you, I mean, that's the thing, too, about the Groundhog Day concept of this movie, and also the original, is that why people, like, will go insane because you never get any, there's no consequences, there's no growth, there's no, you know, only within that one day is there the repercussions, and then the next day it all starts over, and it doesn't matter what you do. Like, you never get to actually, you know, move forward. But I can't even imagine, like, not being able to, you know, see your kids graduate like that. They say that in the movie. The guy says, I'll never be able to walk my daughter down the aisle and see my kids grow up, and, you know, that'd be so sad. And he's going to see, you know, his wife go, and, or I mean, never see his, you know, he's going to be stuck in the same day I couldn't do it.
His wife never gets old.
Yeah.
You can never make babies. Well, I mean, you could try making them.
Right.
Which, you know, but yeah, that would be kind of not good. And part of that is kind of welcoming death almost. You know, like, you know, the death is obviously a part of life. And, you know, like they say with vampire movies, you know, like it would suck, you know, to live that long, and they're just like, we want to die, let me suck your blood, or whatever they say. I think maybe it's not like that at all. I don't watch many vampire movies, but
I'm surprised.
Yeah. But I remember something along those lines of not being able to die is kind of a bitch, and they would love to just be done, you know, like they're tired, and they've lived for 300 years or whatever they live for, and they're just like, and they've seen their friends come and go, die, and yeah, anyway. But in the movie, which I think, if you watch it, like I said, it's only on Hulu, it's called Palm Springs, at the end, there's something that happens, and I'm thinking it's a parallel universe, but we still got some questions here, because how did the crazy guy get the message? Because that's the point you brought up. Like, how did he get that message if they were rushed off to a parallel universe, which they have to be?
I don't know. I didn't worry that much about it afterwards, but...
Or maybe were they sent in the future? Because maybe the past is still happening.
Day. No, because it was the wedding day still.
But not for those two, because they were at the pool. And remember, he was like, oh, apparently November 10th is when the family comes home.
So, I don't know.
So the family comes home. So it's obviously they're not in the same day. So, but they're obviously in the future. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's a cave with a time machine in it.
See, you're going to try to go into this, and these people are not going to be able to follow you.
Because maybe it was a time machine that just got stuck on the same day.
I don't know.
And that's why they just kept until the time machine was reset. Oh, yeah. And it threw them like a couple weeks ahead.
I don't know.
And then they must have went back. Or maybe they didn't go in the future.
I don't know, but the people that are listening haven't seen it, so.
Maybe they went in the past. And that's how he got the letter. Because maybe at the pool, at the end when they show him in the pool, maybe they were 3 weeks prior to that whole thing going down. But then there would be two Andy Sambergs in the same Earth.
I don't know.
Huh.
It was a good movie. Just
Yeah.
watch it and be done with it.
No, man, think about it. And email Marney at 217recovery.com and let her know what you think about the time traveling. Yeah, well, was that all we had on our agenda today?
I don't know. It was a good day, though. It was a good day. I went to work today and talked to some people about how they're doing in their program and challenges they're having and stuff. So, but yeah, it was another fantastic day in recovery.
Yeah, it was good. You listened to last night's podcast, right?
I did. Oh, did you want me to comment on
Yeah, if there's
that?
anything,
I accept your apology.
Okay, yeah.
And it did throw me off that you were making such a big deal about that, especially when I know that I was not the reason why your mask was misplaced. Mm-hmm. And I came
Wait, this morning?
so close
Oh.
so friggin' close to saying to you, Corey, you're going to have to stop displacing your anger about when you've lost something and blame things on me, because you just always point the finger at me. Like, it doesn't matter what. And I knew for a fact that I did not have anything to do with that mask being misplaced. But you were like dead on certain that I had something to do with it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it had to have been like some other kind of issue or something I was having, some other kind of, I don't know. It doesn't make sense how I would get frustrated over one and then if I just had more time to think, or I don't know, like it was something, I don't know. Maybe you didn't flush the toilet or something and I was trying to take that out on you. I don't know. It wasn't that. I'm just kidding. But all right, well, I'm glad you accept my apology because I feel bad and, you shouldn't feel that way. And, so.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, I do the same thing sometimes. I'll get wrapped up in something. Sometimes small things you get the most worked up about for you don't even understand why. And it is probably have to do with some underlying thing,
And I've heard this about addicts and that we sweat the small things the most because it throws us off because we're not used to it. Like the big things, oh, you're getting kicked out of the house. All right, figure it out. Where most people who aren't addicts would be like, oh my God, I'm getting kicked out of the house. What am I going to do? Or we're like, okay, I'm going to deal with it. Dealt with worse. And when it's the little things, I don't know, something that we're just like, what? Huh? And I've heard that before, that, we have a really hard time with the small things. And the big things,
yeah. And I think maybe on that same note, like when you were basically making the implication out loud that it was my fault that this thing was gone or misplaced or in the trash or wherever you thought it was, that it was all came on to me. That I got angry because back in the day, I would have taken blame for that in a heartbeat. Because I was like, I probably sure as shit threw it out because that's something I would do. And don't even bother asking me if I remember where I put it, you know. But now it's like I'm coherent and I know for a fact that, you know, that's not something. I mean, I still make mistakes, don't get me wrong. But I was like 99% sure that I definitely had nothing to do with its disappearance. But you were very adamant about the fact that it was, I had some sort of...
Oh, you must have threw it away.
Yeah, but you said it in such a snarky way that I was like, wanted to smack you. I was like, really? Really, Corey?
I was trying to give you an opportunity.
You're like, I don't know. And then I was like, well, what else was on this seat? You're like, I don't know. Everything else that you threw in the garbage. I mean...
I was giving you an opportunity to work on that.
Oh, okay.
You know, not smacking me.
Okay.
I'll do it from time to time. I'm not going to tell you. But it's just me giving you opportunities to work on that.
Controlling my anger?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do what I can.
All right.
But yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, I did a podcast last night. So if you're listening to this one first, maybe, I don't know if it's Monday or whenever you're listening to it, but go back and listen to last night's podcast. You'll know what we're talking about a little bit more. But appreciate you listening. Enjoy baseball, fantasy football. Football is right around the corner, and we'll start the fantasy league very soon. If you want details, or if you just want, like, hey, I really want to be in it, don't forget me. Drop me an email. Hit me up on Facebook, whatever you need to do. Get a hold of me. We'll make that happen. And, yeah, so have a good night and have a good rest of your week. I guess it's just going to start now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So,
have a good evening.
All right. Talk to you later.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. For more episodes plus bonus features, download the 217 Recovery app.